Welcome back to our next lesson, number 7. My name is Professor Robert. We are going to explore something powerful in algebra, and that regards properties of real numbers. These properties help us simplify expressions and solve equations more easily. And they are as follows. 1, the commutative property. And then 2, the associative property. Let's get started. The commutative property, or commutative, means you can change the order of numbers and the answer stays the same. So in other words, if you have two numbers, say A plus B, this will be the same as B plus A. So when you change the order of the numbers, the answer will always remain the same. Now, this is the case of addition. And in case of multiplication, A multiplied by B is the same as B multiplied by A. So this regards the commutative property. So we can take some real examples and see what we get. So if you had, say, 3 plus 5, this is the same as 5 plus 3. And when we multiply numbers, for example, 4 times 7, this will be the same as 7 times 4, which is 28. And of course, this will equal to 8. So the key thing to note here is that the order of the numbers changes, but answers stay the same. So with the commutative property, the order changes, but the answer remains. It doesn't change. All right. Okay, now let's go on to look at the associative property. Associative property. Associative means you can change the grouping. You can change the grouping. You can change the grouping of numbers, but not the order. Let's look at an example. For example, if you had 3 numbers, A plus B plus C, and A and B are grouped together, this is the same as, instead of grouping the numbers that way, you grouped them as A plus B plus C. You realize here that you can change the grouping of the numbers, but not the order. So that's really very, very important. So for addition, this is what we have. How about multiplication? Now, when it comes to multiplication, if we multiplied A and B, and the result of that is multiplied by C, we will get, or it's the same as getting A out of the parenthesis, and we remain with B and C. So now let's look at some examples of this first addition case. If we had 2 plus 3 plus 4, this will be the same as 5 plus 4, which will give us 9. And if we, instead of looking at it in that format, we really decide to look at it in this format, this would give us 2 plus, open brackets, 3 plus 4. And the answer to this would be 2 plus 7, which will give us 9. How about if we try to get an example for the multiplication case? In this case, let's take one example. Say if we had 2 multiplied by 3 and multiplied by 5, this would be the same as saying 6 times 5, which will give us 30. And if we decide to change the grouping by getting 2 out, so to say 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5, this would be 2 multiplied by 15. And this one would give us 30. So it's important to note here that under the associative property, the order does not change, only the grouping changes. So the order doesn't change, only the grouping changes for this associative property. Okay, so if this lesson helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. Thank you for learning with me, and I will see you in the next lesson. Thank you, and bye.